Did you know that more teenagers and young adults die from suicide than cancer, heart disease, AIDS, birth defects, stroke, pneumonia, influenza, and chronic lung disease combined? This means that not only is suicide one of the most common killers of teenagers and young adults, but this means that parents are losing their children, families are losing loved ones, and our world as a whole is losing future leaders who could grow up and make a difference in this world and make it a much better place to live. And I know, being a young adult myself, that a lot of times you can have problems and stress just build up on top of you where it feels like the world is on your shoulders and there's no way out. But to hear that so many people close to my age are taking their own lives when we've just barely started living them, that's mind blowing to think about. But today, I want to inform you a little bit more about teenage suicide, give you some of the background facts behind it, show you some of the risk factors that can make a teen more likely to commit suicide, and just give you little tips and advice about how we can help prevent more young people from killing themselves. So, as I stated before, suicide is one of the most common killers of teenagers and young adults. It's the third leading killer among those aged 10 to 14, and the second leading among people aged 15 to 34. There was a study done in 2013 of high school students in grades 9 through 12, and in that study, 8% of those students attempted suicide once or more. So this is kids who are 15, 16 years old in high school that are trying to take their own lives this soon. And 2.7% of those who attempted it ended up with a serious injury, poisoning, or overdose that needed medical help. And you can even break this down into the genders. Suicide is the seventh leading cause of deaths among males and the 14th leading cause among females. Females were shown to have more suicidal thoughts than males. However, males committed suicide at least 4 times more often than females and are responsible for 77.9% of all suicide attempts. 56.9% of males who attempted suicide tried to shoot themselves, while 34.8% of females tried poisoning themselves. Now, this doesn't mean that all teens have suicidal thoughts or have attempted suicide, but there are certain types of teens who have a higher risk of suicidal thoughts or attempts. Teens who are bullied or have health problems such as anxiety, bipolar disorder, depression, and insomnia, they're more likely to commit suicide. There are also those teens who have this feeling of worthlessness as, oh, I don't belong in this world. I have no purpose here. Why am I still here? Teens like that are also at a higher risk to commit suicide, as well as those who have had a previous suicide attempt, and becoming more common nowadays, teens who are bisexual and homosexual, as well as teens who are physically or emotionally abused. Now, I know you're hearing this and you're thinking, well, if there are so many reasons that a teen would want to kill themselves, I'm helpless at this point because no matter if I try to stop one attempt, another reason could make them want to commit suicide. Well, that's not true. There are things that we as parents and friends can do to help keep young people from killing themselves. But before I dig into that, I want to tell you a little story. This was about probably a year, maybe 2 years ago. I had a friend, a very close friend of mine. We talked a lot, and she tended to have this loner complex where she didn't really like to be around other people. She was a little bit antisocial, but we talked and we were great friends, but we talked one night and we just got into this huge argument. To this day, I don't even remember what it was about, but I do remember that she did threaten to kill herself. And when I heard that, I put my phone down and my whole body just kind of shut down, because this was someone that I had built, a very deep relationship with. And to hear that they were willing to kill themselves right there, it was shocking. But I did manage to stop her, and she didn't commit suicide. To this day, she's still living a normal life and things are going well. But those of you out there who feel helpless, you're not. There are things that you can do. So first off, things that you can do as a parent and friend. you can just talk to that person often, check up on them, just call them up like, hey man, how are you doing? I just wanted to call up on you, see how your day was going. And parents, show love for your child. I know, especially if you're dealing with a child like me, you lean away from the mushy gushy stuff. But every once in a while, tell your child, hey, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Because things like that, they can maybe brighten up that child's day. Maybe they were having a bad day at school, and to come home to a loving family and they know that they care about them, it's going to make them less likely want to attempt suicide. And if that child has maybe lost a loved one or a friend to suicide, talk to them about it and let them know it's okay to express their feelings and thoughts. And another thing that you can do as a parent is seek help when it's necessary. If you think that your child is at risk of committing suicide and you know for a fact that it's possible coming in the future, seek help immediately, because it's past the point where you can help and you need to lean more to professional help. So today I have informed you a little bit more about teenage suicide. I kind of gave you just a little bit of the background information, certain risk factors to watch out for, and just ways that you can help prevent young people from killing themselves. So even though suicide is one of the leading killers of teenagers and young adults today, it doesn't have to be. We can stand up and make a difference and help save young people's lives. Thank you.